Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vikas Swami Pradavani. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namani. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyadi Paschata Deshatharini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasini Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jai Advaita Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. We are continuing with the discussion on Navadvipa Dham, glories of Navadvipa Dham, description of the islands and the pastimes that occurred in the different islands. So we spoke on Antardvip yesterday and some part of Simantadvip, also on river Ganga. Okay, we had completed Antardvip, but just one thing about how that name came, Antardvip. After the Brahma Vimohanam Leela, when Lord Brahma took the cows and cowherd boys that Krishna was with and put them in a cave, he later realized his mistake. So he prayed to Krishna and for forgiveness. So then after that he came here. He came to Antardvip in Navadvip and he wanted to attain the grace of Lord Chaitanya. So he did austerities here. And while he was performing austerities, he saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's bright golden form. So then he requested that he be allowed to appear in the next pastime so that he could absolve his sins. And he requested that he appear in a low birth because then he'll be humble. So Lord Chaitanya granted Brahma his request by saying he would appear in a Muslim family and become Haridas Thakur, the Namacharya. So Lord Chaitanya continued, Brahma now hear these antar words, inner words, secret words. Do not reveal them openly. Taking the role of a devotee, I will taste the nectar of Bhakti Rasa and propagate the most rare process of Sankirtan. I will make devotees all the previous avatars drunk with nectar of Vrindavan. The love that Sri Radhika possesses is beyond my experience, so I will appear with her sentiment and complexion. So this was a confidential talk he told to Brahma, and that happened in Antardvip. Therefore it's called Antardvip. Yesterday we discussed on some part of Simantadvip. We started on Chandkazi Samadhi, and we said that is non-different from Mathura. It's non-different from Mathura, where Chandkazi Samadhi is. So that is Simantadvip. Some of the pastimes here I will say. But how did this name come? Previously this area was known as Simulia. Previously. So one pastime occurred that once Parvati saw Shiva dancing madly, chanting Gauranga, Gauranga. So she approached very curious that you're chanting name of Gauranga. Who's Gauranga? Why are you dancing in ecstasy like that? So he explained that Gauranga is a form of Krishna and he will appear in Kali Yuga. When he appears, he'll freely distribute the jewel of Prem, which everyone struggles to get in different yugas. So difficult. So much tapasya and so much yajna is done. But without discrimination, he'll give it very easily in Kali Yuga. So he said, just by remembering this, I'm in ecstasy. Just by remembering that Lord Gauranga will come, I get in ecstasy, I become absorbed. So then hearing this, Parvati with permission of Lord Shiva came to Navadvip in Simulia, that area. And she did tapasya to see Lord Shiva. sorry, Lord Gauranga. So she did tapasya and he appeared. When he appeared, she was in ecstasy. But he asked her that why did you come here? Curiously, why did you come here? You're doing tapasya. And then she replied that, well, what a job I have that I'm supposed to delude the people in Maya away from you. And wherever I am, you are not there. Because where Maya is, Krishna is not there. So how is that, such a thankless task? She said that I'm forced to remain outside your spiritual realm and your pastimes. And if you don't help me, I don't have any hope. So then Parvati touched Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet and put the dust on her sima. This what's it called? Simanta. The women parting here, where they put that red. So she put the dust there. Then it became known as Simantadvip because of that. So Gaurasundar was pleased with Parvati and told her how, as Yoga Maya, she was non-different from him. Different form of Maya is Yoga Maya, then we have Mahamaya. So he said that no, as Yoga Maya, you're non-different from me. And you're essential for the pastimes. In the material realm, when I come, you have to be there. Because you have to delude everyone so that I can do my pastimes. So in Vrindavan, you are personally present as Purnamasi. And in Navadvipa, what's the name? Praudhamaya. Praudhamaya, along with Kshetrapal Shiva, the guardian of the Dham. So they are both there. In every Vaishnav Dham, Lord Shiva is there to guard it from materialistic people. They'll not enter. Well, they'll enter physically, but what will they see? If Lord Shiva doesn't allow you to enter. And so Praudhamaya also comes. She deludes everyone who's a pure devotee. When the pastimes come, Supreme Lord comes, she deludes them that he's not the Supreme, so that the pastime can go on. So that is Simantadvip. We yesterday spoke about Chandkazi Samadhis there. Okay, also on Simantadvip, Kolavecha Sridhar spoke about that already. Now one big part of Simantadvip is Jagannath Puri. We're in Navadvipa. So, but within Navadvipa are all the holy dhams. It's been repeated. Mathura, I went personally a place, they said this is Kurukshetra. So Jagannath Puri is there. In Navadvipa, in Simantadvip. A long time back, Jagannath Puri was apparently looking like under threat by one demon called Rakta Bahu, an emperor, king, who was smashing all the temples. So Jagannath is Lord of the universe. What has he got to fear? But he came in a form for us to serve him. So he told the pujaris, they prayed to him that you're the Supreme Lord. Please do not be here. We want to protect you. You can do something. To protect yourself like that. So he said, that demon, no one can harm me, neither will any of the devotees be harmed. So he came in the dream. This he said in the dream of the Shabaras, in the Pujari. The Shabaras are the people who took care of Jagannath before he came. He was still in the mountain next to Rohini Kund as Neel Madhav. So when he unmanifested as Neel Madhav, then he came in a different form, which King Indradyumna had carved by Vishwakarma. So the Shabaras were that time also given a special task to take care of him. So in the dream he told the Pujari, let the Shabaras take me to another place, I'll guide them. So they prepared for his trip and came, and they kept traveling. Then after some time, they said around 12 days, they reached, because they went walking, so they came to a place called Rajapur, which is in Simantadvip. That time, then in the dream, the Jagannath came when they were sleeping at night. He said that I want to remain here, make arrangements. So they made arrangement, and they set up his temple there, and they worshipped him. Actually, that place is eternally Jagannath Puri. He had come there to be served in Rajapur, After a time, everything became okay. He returned to Jagannath Puri. However, he never leaves there. So then he came again. He came again many years later. So how did he reappear? 500 years ago, he came again. During Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, there was a person called Jagdish Ganguly. He used to, the devotees from Bengal, they will go to Jagannath Puri to see Lord Chaitanya every year. And that time around Rath Yatra, they will go in a big convoy. So after some time, Jagdish Ganguly, he slowly became blind. So they told him that you can't come, it's not that you're sitting in a bus and going, or train. They have to go to the jungle, wild animals, thieves. They had to be very alert and travel like. So if since you're blind, it will be difficult. How can you come? How can you be protected? So then he said, okay, I'll not come. But he was completely heartbroken. He was in great distress. Then he thought that I'm just going to go and jump in the Ganga. That's it. Why should I live if I cannot see Mahaprabhu and Jagannath? So, but that night, Jagannath came to him in a dream and said, when you go to take bath in the Ganga, a piece of log will touch you. When that log comes to you, take it and give it to someone in the village. He said, a specific person. This person is a great devotee, but he has leprosy. So when you tell him to carve my form, he'll refuse because he cannot hold even the implements to carve the deity. But when he refuses, you have to persuade him that this was my desire. So that's what happened. Next day, Jagdish Ganguly went to take a bath in the river, and the log came. He took the log and then he gave it to. He found that carpenter. In Jagannath Leela, it was Vishwakarma who carved. So here this carpenter tried to carve the form, but it was very difficult. Because leprosy means you don't even have fingers, or maybe not so proper. So he was bleeding and trying to, but gradually he carved the deities, and his leprosy went completely. After this form was carved, Jagdish worshipped this deity, his family worshipped, but after some time, of course, he left, and gradually in the family, the worship became neglected. So, as sometimes happens, became less and less known, and then there might have been some flood, some disturbance, deities came, temple was forgotten completely. So, 60 years ago, around 60 years ago, not so long, a villager noticed a blue flower growing out of a termite hill. Termite hill, termite, white ants that eat wood. They made a hill with the soil. Huh?
Dimak in Hindi.
Dimak. So these termites had made an anthill, and there was a blue flower glowing. So this village boy, he came and he saw, and the flower, he came closer, he saw a termite hill. But as he came very near, he heard a voice. Please help me, get me some water, I'm very thirsty. And the villager quickly dug up the termite hill and discovered the deities of Jagannath Baladev, Subhadra Maharani. Daru Brahman, the Supreme Lord made of wood. But the termites did not touch that wood. They were termites. Still, they didn't touch the wood. The deities were fresh and effulgent. So the divine wooden forms were not harmed. So after this, the temple worship continued again. Gradually, that in Kali Yuga, material world, again the standards fell. As the standards fell and diminished year by year, so around until 1978, Lord Jagannath's Brahmana Pujari at 1978 approached ISKCON, Mayapur, to take over the worship. And many things are said why he did this. Some are saying that he had a dream. Jagannath said, now you have to, I read personally, it's not mentioned, and different narrations are there. But one narration is that in the dream, Jagannath said, now, I don't want to be worshipped by you anymore. And there's some things that happened in his family. They are not properly following. Hand me over to ISKCON. So he went to ISKCON and told them. Then they came. Gradually, they took over the worship. And today, it's a really magnificent temple. Small. Deities are there. They worship nicely. They offer the Chappan Bhog. It's distributed. And the form of Simanta Devi is there. Durga, who had come, Parvati had come to seek mercy of Lord Chaitanya, and he appeared. That place is marked with the deity of Simanta Devi, Durga Devi, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And nearby there's a Shivling also, Lord Shiva. In the same compound is the deities of Jagannath, because that is eternally Jagannath Puri. One who goes there is assumed to have gone to Jagannath Puri. So they do all the celebrations. As we mentioned that Ganga had come to Navadvipa, Nrsimhadev, and whenever deities come to Navadvipa, they take on the mood. Any dham of the deity, of the avatar who had come. So even Jagannath took, of course he's merciful, but he took a much, merciful role. And so he's been reciprocating so much with the villagers. Lots of incidents happened with the deities. So we'll mention a few of them. And a lot of these are narrated by the Pujari who found it out from the local people. Otherwise, how will we know? And I personally, in 2005, when I went to Navadvipa Parikram, we went to that temple. Then the head Pujari of ISKCON Mayapur, he himself narrated these pastimes. We were listening. Very shocking. Okay, so some of the pastimes. In the beginning, when ISKCON took over, this was a very small facility. So a Pujari came cycling with a small tiffin for the offering. So it was not very opulent. And so the offerings were not kept very opulent. So the Pujari, he didn't make such nice offerings. He thought, this is not signed yet, the deal. We might not get the temple. Till then, I'm not going to make anything very nice in offerings. So then one night, in a dream, he went to wake up the deities to offer. Same temple where it is now. And the deities were not there. They were gone. So after looking around in the dream, he was disturbed. What is happening? Then he saw them walking away, far away. He saw the back. So he ran after them. Oh my Lord, what's happening? Where are you going? Why aren't you staying here? Then they said, we are so weak. We are going to ISKCON Mayapur because here they have good bhoga. Here you're only giving khichdi. So then he woke up, immediately resumed grand offerings. Okay, these are famous ones which I heard many times. These ones you should hear first. Around 15 years ago, 2 auto rickshaw drivers came here on Snan Yatra festival. That time it was already under ISKCON. One of the drivers offered his friend, a Muslim, some Jagannath Prasad. The Muslim refused. He was given the Prasad, then he threw it on the ground, saying, we don't touch these things. That same night, Lord Balram appeared to the Muslim in a dream, in a very angry mood. Balram was sitting on top of him and hitting him across the face. And Lady Subhadra was there. She was telling Balram, hit him again. He refused the Mahaprasad of my Lord, kill him. Then the Muslim came to the temple early next morning in a state of shock. He prayed to Jagannath Swami for forgiveness. Yeah, in the other pastime I heard the same thing. That he said, I want mercy. Give me mercy. Don't kill me. Then he said, you got mercy of Jagannath, the Lord of the universe. You threw it. Now you're asking for mercy. So then, anyway, next morning he was in a state of shock and came and prayed for forgiveness and asked that Pujari, can I have that prasad of yesterday? No, I have fresh prasad for today. No, I want yesterday's. The one okay, then he gave. Another pastime, the jackfruit thief. Another time, a local jackfruit farmer was troubled by 2 boys who kept stealing his jackfruits. One day, he got close enough to chase them, but they escaped by jumping over a fence. However, while jumping over the fence, a piece of their cloth was torn. The farmer brought the cloth to the temple and asked the Pujari if he knew anyone who wore cloth like this. The Pujari was surprised as he recognized the cloth to be of Lord Jagannath's outfit. He ran into the deity room and found Jagannath Swami's outfit had a torn piece of cloth, missing that one. They were stealing the jackfruit. About 15 years ago, a small local boy came to the temple. He became very attracted to Lady Subhadra's brooch, some jewel. He went onto the altar and was about to remove the brooch from Lady Subhadra when Lord Balaram swung his arm and slapped him. Then a pastime of the night guard. Prahlad, the local guard, also got some mercy. Once he was sick, he didn't do his night guard duty for 2 nights. The next night he dozed off while leaning against the temple wall. Lord Balaram then appeared to him in a dream. Grabbing Prahlad by the neck, Balaram began shaking him. Why are you not protecting us? It's very dangerous here. There are many dacoits. You did not come to protect us for 2 days, but this is your duty. After this, the guard swore he would never again be lax in his duty. Another time, Prahlad was up in a tree where it's safe from snakes, while protecting Jagannath's mango grove. At around midnight, a very well-dressed and cultured man appeared and asked him how to get to the temple. Prahlad showed him the way, but as was confused why such a cultured gentleman would come alone at night. Very soon after this, he heard a loud roaring kirtan coming from the temple, and bells ringing, conches blowing, and ladies ululating. Ladies ululating, you don't know. Ululululu, like they do that. This is auspicious sound. Uludhani. It's auspicious. In Gaudiya Sampradaya you hear it a lot. Maybe Bengal in general. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur said it's auspicious sound. Women, not men. So, lot of pastimes. Should I put a last one? Okay. The author of this book is also blessed to have the mercy of Jagannath Swami in a pastime. I was very sick with jaundice and came here to rest and recover. I had dark purple rings under my eyes, indicating how sick I was. Seeing these dark rings was making me miserable. At times I would cry and fear I would be sent back to the west, as I was just not getting better. She was from the west. But on the 4th morning, I was putting on tilak. As usual, to my amazement, I saw the purple rings under my eyes had completely vanished. I was elated and went for darshan of the deities, and the pujari opened the curtains. I looked at the deities to behold their beautiful forms and simply froze in shock and astonishment. Both Lord Jagannath and Lord Balaram were wearing dark purple beads hanging down from their turbans, going across their forehead, under their eyes exactly where I had purple rings. I then heard Lord Balaram telling me, "It's all right, Manjari, we will make you better." Rajapur. So this is for ISKCON devotees, when they come to Mayapur, this is the famous part. They'll come out and first go to Yogpit, then they may go to Murari Gupta's place. That's not so easy, a little bit further. Then they'll go on to Shiva Sangan, Gadadhar Bhavan, Advaita Bhavan, Shri Chaitanya Mat. It's all in a line. Then past Chand Kari Samadhi, but from there it's a long way. Sometimes they'll take a rickshaw. And then go to Rajapur, Lord Jagannath Temple, in Navadvipa. Those are the, so this is a popular place. Another is Godrum Dvip. Antardvip, Simantadvip, Godrum Dvip. So Godrum Dvip, for that, after coming out of the main gate of ISKCON, they take a left, go straight down, then you come to the Ghat. In the Ghat, you have to take a boat and cross other side of Jalangi river. Then you come to Godrum Dvip. Godrum Dvip is where Bhaktivinoda Thakur had stayed. It's very significant. Actually, all of these dhams, dvips, they're representing 9 forms of bhakti. Okay, so I'll just tell you. Okay. each of the islands represent a form of bhakti, which I am trying to find here. You know it offhand? Okay, I got it. Antardvip, we just spoke before about that, represents Atma Nivedanam. You know the 9 forms of bhakti. Navadvipa bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Vandanam, Archanam. Yeah. So now Antardvip represents Atma Nivedanam. Complete surrender to the Lord, which is what Bali Maharaj did. Okay. Then Simantadvip represents Shravanam, hearing. That is what we just spoke about. And Godrum Dvip, which we are going to speak about now, represents Kirtanam, glorification of the Lord. Okay, others are there. Ritudvip, Archanam. Koladvip, Pada Sevanam. Janudvip, Vandanam. And Rudradvip, Sakhyam. Now we are discussing about Godrumdvip. Godrumdvip it says that the eternal residence of Surabhi is here in Godrumdvip. Surabhi Kund. She is residing under the tree, a particular tree, Vart tree. And now we may not see Surabhi, but she's there. Adi Surabhi is present under the tree, and tree is known as a Drum. And Go is the cow, so Godrum Dvip, Surabhi, under the tree. Skanda Purana speaks about this place. Before Godrum Dvip, it was known as Gadigachi. Among local people still, that's it's known there. One who stays on this island is liberated from sin. It says in Skanda Purana, Gadigachi. Surabhi Kunj. This place is non-different from Sarabhivana in Vrindavan. Is a place, Sarabhivana. It fulfills desires of devotees. Who builds a cottage and worships here, he will become absorbed in Gauranga. The pastime after Lord Indra had poured that heavy rain in Vrindavan village, which Krishna then lifted Govardhan hill to protect the devotees. After that pastime, Indra came to ask forgiveness. So, in this dweep of Godrum, Indra had come personally. Offenses are not present in worship. So, because he knew that Gauranga Mahaprabhu doesn't take offenses. So he came in the worship of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. He came with Mother Surabhi and asked forgiveness. He'd approached Mother Surabhi and said, let's go to Navadvipa and worship Nimai. So as they came here to this place, their hearts became overfilled with Gauranga Prem. And Gaurasundar gave Lord Indra his darshan and told him, I know of your wish. Because Indra, he then found out about Lord Gauranga and he wanted also to be there present when he appears. So he said, soon I'll appear in Navadvip and you will serve me at that time. Then the net of Maya will no longer touch you. Because he knew he made a big mistake. He didn't want to again do this. Saying this, Gauranga Mahaprabhu disappeared. And soon after that, Indra also left. Mother Surabhi, however, remained here under the banyan tree, absorbed in meditation on Gauranga. Thus the island is called Godrum. because of the cow, Go and Dhrum. It's a very significant place in Gaudiya Sampradaya. Of course, the whole Navadvipa is. But Godrum is because it's representing the principal bhakti form of Kirtan. Okay, you got it. So, because of that, and Gaudiya Sampradaya means we chant. Kirtaniya Sadahari, Yagya Sankirtane prayer. So in this same place, Nityananda Prabhu made his headquarters of preaching in Godrumdvip when he was preaching. Actually, Surabhi Kunj. Yeah, many songs are there. Nadiya Godrume, Tana Mahajan, Patyate Nam Hata, Jivera Karan. Okay. Another one. Boro Sukir Khabor Gai, Boro Sukir Khabor Gai, Surabhi Kunjete Namer Hat Kuleche. Khod Nitai, Khod Nitai, Nitai. He opened the Namahat in Godrum. He made that the center of the preaching. From there he went all around preaching. Lord Nityananda. Okay, and later Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he made this his preaching headquarters. He stayed for some time in Surabhi Kunj. Then he went up the road and built another place. But he wrote many songs there, which we sing. There's a pastime also of Markandeya Rishi. We heard about him, that he got the benediction for 7 kalpas not to die. So they were pralaya 7 times, he didn't die. So he was floating around. He even went to Jagannath, the Neelachal hill, which does not submerge. But here also, he had come. He saw Surabhi under a tree in an island, which did not become submerged in the water of pralaya. So he was very tired and thirsty. So he begged Surabhi for milk. So she gave him milk. Then he asked, what is this place? Why is it not submerging? Then she told him, this place is different. It's part of Mahaprabhu's Dham. So she told him to stay here. She said, by taking shelter and worship of Lord Gauranga here, this place, there is no jurisdiction of time and space. You can just remain here. You can attain the sweet love of God. Shut the door. When that prema sits in your heart, it will drown you in the nectar of the artful pastimes of the Lord. Easily, we'll be able to attain Krishna. So, he says the happiness of the service is unmatched, while non-differentiated Brahman there is only illusory knowledge. The pleasure we'll get from worshipping Gauranga is much greater than worshipping the impersonal, because in the beginning Markandeya Rishi was not a devotee. So the Muni inquired from Surabhi, what will be the result of worshipping here? So she replied, in worshipping Gauranga there is no consideration of offenses. When you call out the name of Gauranga, your sinful reactions are destroyed and you are freed from all distress, as your material life will be vanquished. Everyone can call out, Gauranga! Gauranga! Again, Gauranga! Gauranga! Okay, now material life is vanquished and you are freed from distress. See, you're all smiling. Okay. So, therefore, you should stay on this island and submerge yourself in Gauranga Rasa while worshipping the Lord. So then Markandeya Rishi stayed there. So, we met this Godrum Dweep, when we crossed the island, all in a line. First comes Surabhi Kunj. It's in many songs of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He was sitting there writing the songs. I think he wrote Sharanagati, that book full of songs, many of which we sing. After that, he went further up the road and built a house. There, him and Bhaktisiddhanta as a small boy were there, and the family. And that was overlooking Jalangi river. Actually, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is eternally Kamala Manjari. She is assisting Lalita Sakhi, who is serving Radha Krishna in Goloka. So, Lalita Sakhi has a kunj at the bank of Radha Kund in Goloka. And in that kunj she stays, and Kamala Manjari, her assistant, she also stays helping her. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he named his house after that kunj, because later on he revealed his identity as coming from Goloka. So he called it Swananda Sukhada Kunj. And in front was Jalangi, so that is non-different from Radha Kund. So sitting there, seeing himself in Vrindavan, and he wrote many songs there also. So that place is significant. He'll sit and give lectures, and Gorakishore Das Babaji would come. He'd sit also, and surrounding people, Bhaktisiddhanta. His personal servant was also there. Then he took Babaji Vesh later. He was there, and much later he was in Puri also. So his samadhi is there in that building. We'll see it. Bhaktivinoda Thakur's samadhi in Swananda Sukada Kunj. And when he unmanifested, his personal servant Krishnadas also left. So his samadhi is also there. And Gorakishore Das Babaji's bhajan kutir. Because he made a kutir there so he could hear Bhaktivinoda Thakur lecture. And he made the door, of the door, because it's a wall, compound, he built in a corner of the wall and the door facing the wall, not that side. For different reasons they gave. Here regarding Bhaktivinoda Thakur, it says that his desire to be in Navadvipa Dham was so strong that he resigned his post as a magistrate with the British government. But they refused to transfer him to Krishnanagar. So the British government then conceded, and then said, okay, you can shift to Navadvipa. So he was moved to Godrumdeep and became the district magistrate of Krishnanagar. One night, while he was chanting on the veranda of his house, he saw a dazzling golden effulgence emanating from the other side of Jalangi. This is, I mentioned last time, how they found Yogpit. Bhaktivinoda Thakur named the house Swananda Sukada Kunj, seeing it non-different from Swananda Sukada Kunj, the private grove of Lalita Sakhi. His songs reveal how he is eternally living in this Kunj, serving the divine couple. He's singing in one song. My small cottage is shining beautifully within that most enchanting garden called Swananda Sukada Kunj. Living there, I will sing Lord Krishna's holy name. I will greedily hanker for that time when I will get the service of him and his associate. It is said that at the times of the four Acharyas, Jagannath Das Babaji, Gorakishore Das Babaji, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Bhaktisiddhanta, they would all come and meet here to discuss the pastimes of Gaurahari. This place, very important. One thing not mentioned here is that the British built a railway line just for him till his house. The line is still there. And till some time back, the train was still coming, but not anymore. So that it's still there. So we are still on now. Which dweep? Which dweep are we on, Surat? Akash?
Right now.
Huh? Right now, what dweep are we on? Which island? Okay, you said what? Janu? Jambudweep. Okay, you're not wrong. But right now we are not there. We are in Navadvipa discussing. So which dweep did we go to in Navadvipa? Now, right now. Huh? Navadvipa, yeah. But there are 9. Okay, Godrumdeep. Yeah. Oh, don't worry, you'll go and then we'll remember. Jambudweep. Actually, we are on Jambudweep. Huh? It's okay. So, if you go further down the road, okay, you ready? We'll go, okay? Now we are going straight down. After Surabhi Kunj, Swananda Sukada Kunj, keep going. We come to a place called Amra Ghat, which in Bengali means Am Ghat, which means basically, mango grove. So many mango trees are here. Actually, there's a railway station, IRCTC, Am Ghat railway station. Okay, so why? What is the Leela? Once, while performing Kirtan, Lord Chaitanya noticed devotees were becoming tired. So he stopped the Kirtan and planted a mango seed in the ground. Within minutes, a huge mango tree grew, covered in big, beautiful red and yellow mangoes that had no skin and no seed. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu picked around 200 mangoes, one for each devotee present. He washed the mangoes and offered them all to Krishna. Gaurasundar then ate one mango and after washing his hand distributed the rest to the devotees. One mango was enough to completely satisfy each devotee. The tree supplied mangoes every day for 1 year. Then by the desire of the Lord, it suddenly disappeared. But now there are many mango trees there. Okay, in Dvip, two other significant places. One is Harihara Kshetra. Here there's a deity which is half Vishnu, half Shiva. Harihara. Lord Vishnu manifested himself in the form of Harihara to show how dear Lord Shiva is to him. When this book was first, okay, so the temple is there. It's describing. Lord Shiva is a Gora Bhakta. Lord Shiva is the topmost Vaishnava and is constantly rendering service to Vishnu. We see him chanting, meditating. Srimad Bhagavatam describes that after killing some demons, Lord Krishna's Sudarshan Chakra burned down Lord Shiva's city of Kashi. Lord Shiva left that city and took refuge here, so that this place is also known as Mahakashi or Mahavaranasi. Varanasi. This is not different from Varanasi. However, this Navadvipa Kashi is superior to the other Kashi, writes Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Here Shiva is always dancing and chanting the name of Gaura and begging his followers to accept Gaura Bhakti. The sannyasis who live for 1,000 years in Kashi may attain liberation to the cultivation of Gyan. But here devotees kick away the liberation as they dance and chant the name of Gauranga. While leaving the body, living entities are delivered by Lord Shiva, who chants the name of Gauranga in their ear. This Dham is thus called Mahavaranasi, for here there is no fear of death. Okay, that is Dvip. One more place is there, it's called Narasimhapalli. This is a big kund. In this place, Nrsimhadev came, he drank the water and he washed the blood of Hiranyakashipu of his hands. So devotees take bath there. Shri Dvip ki jai. We covered Antardvip, Simantadvip, and Dvip, and Jambudvip. Okay, so now there are 6 other islands. Actually, there are total 9 islands. We not be able to go to them. So many important places in these ones, which we list separately in another session. Okay. We'll just mention all the important places. Okay, so we can stop for now. Shri Navadvipa Dham ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai.